Be quiet. Stop making noise out there. I think I shaved just a little piece off him. All right, you hang tight. I gotta reload, and I gotta go get that 2 pounds of deer meat. Good afternoon. My name is Tom. I come to you from the great state of Maine. You guys know the routine. Have yourself a sip of coffee. If you can't tell, it's supper time. It's supper time. I just got back from out in the boat. Great day of fishing. Caught some salmon. Looking for some lake trout. I didn't get lucky enough for a big old lake trout today, but hey, there's always tomorrow. But anyways, I've been eating salmon all week, so I kind of wanted something different tonight. So I was looking through the Papa's cookbook here, and I came across a deer meat stew. Or a deer meat soup, whatever you want to call it. All depends on how thick you want to make it. I'm kind of looking for a little bit of soup tonight. Maybe I'll have a sandwich and a soup for supper. That's the thing about being free here in the state of Maine. I can make my own decision to what I want for supper. But I got a problem. Problem is, I don't have a deer. Well, I got a pot. This is different. You're going to want to stick around for this. This is back in the old Maine. I can guarantee it. This is what's called a pressure cooker, not a pressure canner. They're two different animals. So I got everything out here. So now I just need a deer. So I guess before I can cook supper, I need to find a deer. Just so happens I got a 44 Magnum here. So we're going to load this thing up. And I got about an hour between now and dark. Oh, you say it's not deer season? Well, I won't tell anybody if you don't. I only want a couple steaks. Or a roast. It's a roast I need to put in there. So we'll see if I can do some fancy shooting. And shoot me a roast. Don't you think that'd be a good idea? My recipe book over here only says a couple pounds. Well, I think if I work it just right, I think I can shave a couple pounds off a small dough easily. This right here says 2 pounds of bear meat or deer meat. Now I got to cut everything in half because it's only me here eating tonight. I'm just making one pot meal because I want to eat it all up tonight, and then maybe tomorrow night we'll have a salmon over the campfire. So it says we got to have some potatoes. Yeah, put in how many people you're feeding. It says 2 onions, so I'm going to put in 1 onion. It says 6 good carrots, so I'm going to put in 4 good carrots. Now, you can have a can of beef broth if you got some. I don't have any. So I got to go to the next best thing. Next to the beef broth is this Lipton onion soup mix. That makes a really good broth. And that's always here at the cabin. I got a gallon jug back here that I keep a couple of boxes in all the time because it works in a lot of different meals. So keep that in mind. Says a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. That's always good. Salt to taste. Pepper to taste. Now it's a little different cooking here because you can't just drop that deer in there when we go get him finally. When I go get that deer, I need to drop him in there for about 20 minutes by itself. Because if you throw the meat in there, and you throw the potatoes in there, and you throw the carrots in there, the potatoes will be nothing. By the time you're ready to eat your potatoes and they've pressure cooked in there, as long as that meat's gonna cook, because you want that meat falling apart. You want it nice and tender. And that's what these things are really good for. You can take the nastiest cut of deer meat that there is on the deer, which is usually the calf muscle, and you can throw that in one of these pressure cookers and it'll tender. You can cut it with a butter knife. You can cut it with a dull deer knife after skinning 5 deer. Anyways, so I gotta go get that deer. So hey, you guys hang tight. I'm gonna take a quick walk around this cabin and see what we come up with. But you know, if I'm quiet and I sat here just for a few minutes, I might not have to take that walk at all, because this is Maine, and you know, you never know. You never know. Be quiet. Stop making noise out there. I think I shaved just a little piece off him. All right, you hang tight. I gotta reload. And I gotta go get that 2 pounds of deer meat. Okay. Alrighty, I'm back. No thanks to you guys. I ain't never heard so much noise in the background ever on any one of my deer hunts, ever. Even when I bring the grandkids out, they weren't half as noisy as you guys were. So with no thanks to you guys, I was able to manage to skillfully and carefully shave 2 pounds of roast off the side of that dough. Now, I don't recommend that to too many people that haven't shot much, because you really do got to be careful. Otherwise than that, you'll kill it. And if you kill it, it's out of season. You can't deer hunt this time of year. So the last thing you want to do is kill that deer. All you want is 2 pounds of deer meat. And if you're an old-time Mainer, you know exactly how to do that. So anyways, I walked down to where the deer was. It was straight out in front of the cabin, just behind the rhubarb and around the big rock and behind the big oak. Laying there, laying there. The roast was laying right there on the ground, not the deer. The deer got up and run off. So, and that's just the way I found it. It was 2 pounds, perfect. It'll fit right in that pot nicely. Now, if you're not practicing that kind of deer hunting, I say you ought to dig in a little deeper and take your craft a little more serious. That way you too can have fresh deer meat throughout the summer without hunting out of season. So, but anyways, time for a tall cup of coffee and time to get going cooking this meal. Thank goodness that deer walked by when she did. My rhubarb over there is doing really nice. I got several recipes. I got rhubarb cookies, I got rhubarb cake, I've got rhubarb pie, rhubarb jam, all kinds of rhubarb recipes. Because I love the plant rhubarb. It grows by itself. And it grows all summer. And it's just one of them great things to have around. So, anyways, I don't know how we got over there, but I got to get cooking on my supper. I want to get this done while it's still daylight. You can't believe how good that smells. This is in case the neighbors show up and want to take my supper. Not happening. Pressure's all released. Well, let's just see. It's been about 12 minutes. I just want to pull it off while everything looks cooked. As long as the carrots are good. Carrots are good. Where's the potatoes? Yep. Well, that one. Guess I should have. I got one that's cooked really good. The other one could stand some more time. Guess I should have. I think what I'll do is scoop out and turn the thing back on. Leave that potato in there. So we'll get my thing down here. See if you can. If I get my glove, you can look in the pot. So I should have cut that big potato in half. But everything else is great, so I'm just going to pull stuff out other than the meat, take out what I want for meat. Like I said, you can't overdo the meat anyways. Pull out some carrots. And look at that. That will cut with a butter knife. I want to get out most of my carrots. I don't want them any softer. When I'm going to cook that potato just a little bit more. There's a few in there, but not many. Well, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, aren't we? Having supper out here on the front porch. If you guys were watching this, this is what camp cooking is. My goodness. You see that meat? That stuff will just fall apart. See that? And pull it right off. And that is the toughest cut on a deer leg you can find. A little bit of salt and pepper. I was going to put some butter on those carrots and onions, but they don't need it. My goodness, is that good. That bigger potato's still in there cooking. Then we take it out here another minute. But we'll put a little butter and salt and pepper on this potato here. What a meal. I love carrots and onions. Very few meals get eaten up here at the cabin. Dog's getting old, she just fell down. But my goodness, that stuff is good. Well, this is where I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this cooking video. It'll probably be a long one. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I will turn the camera around so you can see the view. The view that I get from out here on the front deck. Here at the cabin. Well, here's to living free, living happy, and see what happens tomorrow out on the lake. So you guys have a sip of coffee with me on your way out. I'm going to enjoy my supper, and I will see you next week.